So that's another reason to take it. We could end up with the geodes and globes or whatever to just straight run the thing. Yeah, Spellgorgers are notoriously missing from our deck so far. Let's also take a look at Curve. Let's also... we can end up splashing potentially here, but I'm going to cut the black for now. And I'm even going to cut Domri for now. We can just remember that we have some splashables if we find the globes or whatever, but I want to see our no splash situation. 20 quote playables, but there's a lot we're not happy with here in terms of Dovin and Bond and Silverwing. And kind of Skulker. Skulker can be played, though. It's fine. Anyway, I think we're just another Pyrohelix here, though, over... or we could be first Kasmina's Transmutation over second Pyrohelix. Yeah, definitely another removal Vaporkin. What do you like, though? Pyrohelix or first Transmutation here? I don't think I want to speculate on the fixing. I'm going to take late globes if we can get them and not worry about it if we can't. Fiddles likes first transmute. Yeah, I like first transmute because we do have this weakness to big stuff on the ground that not just gods. I do like having a transmutation for in best of one for the big green. So let's take first transmute. Here's a rare draft that we could consider running. Non-creature, so but it's probably not correct to run it. I don't know. We're not going to play this. We'll take it. I think we, especially opportunity cost. I don't want a third honor. No escape is whatever. Iron Bully is whatever. So we'll take it and then decide. Otterside has the... I missed Otterside's question. Hey, Otterside. Otterslide, sorry. Glad you could join the stream. Yeah, so people have answered you, but basically, for example, we already have 4 Mizium tanks, so we're gonna take this and get an extra 20 gems at the end of the draft because we already have 4 copies of it. In fact, gotta figure out... I'm not sure how many Ugins we have. Maybe need to go... Oh, Jaya's Greeting at this point is fantastic. Look at that. I'd love a contentious plan here, but we gotta take the Greeting. Ashiok as a win con or a second transmutation. Probably not playing a second transmutation. So then we're probably Ashiok here and deciding if he's part of our... or if they are part of our game plan. Dream big tonight. Heartfire, glad to pick up a Heartfire. Want at least one of these in these decks, if not a couple. So we're getting some of the pieces here at the end that make me feel a little better about what's going on here. No Escape versus Iron Bully. Yeah, we didn't get any good blue flying, which stinks. But I don't... We have 2 initiates in the sideboard. We're definitely not playing 3, so this isn't a consideration for me. It's only No Escape versus Iron Bully, and I'm willing to play a No Escape. I think it does fine. I don't know about 2. Here's a globe. We're going to take a globe. I don't know if one globe allows us to splash, but we'll definitely take it here. And a nice Lost. I like getting this Lost here. Another Bond of Passion. Probably not playing the first, much less the second, but I'll throw it in there. Here's that other Honor we're probably not playing. Let's see, we have 5 rares and 2 mythics. So especially for the new viewers, let's go and show what you can do. So before we conclude this draft, this is a trick that's especially useful for... this is a trick that's for players who are on a budget or free-to-play, who are... only care about limited and don't really care about what cards they have for constructed. If that describes you, you're going to want to know about this trick because it's a way to turn your wild cards into gems since you don't really care about your wild cards for for constructed. Before you leave a draft, so we have Ugin. Let's see, let me write down. I know we have 4 of some of these, but I didn't write it all down. So we have an Ugin. We have, what else? Spark Double. Tank we already had 4 of. Anything else? What am I missing? Oh, Domri. And Domri we already had 4 of. I don't know if there's any other rares. Okay, so I think it's just Ugin and Spark Double that I need to check on. And we may already have 4 of them. We're going to go find out, because what you can do is leave your draft, go into your collection, search for a rare you have in your pile but haven't completed the draft in yet, and we see we already have Ugin. If we did not have 4 Ugins, I would click on Ugin and craft up to 4 using our wild cards to get us to 4. Then we're going to check and make sure Spark Double is there too. Hey, great. And this is also a great sign. The fact that all 4 of our rares were already maxed out means we're really approaching, we're already approaching grind time. So once you get 4x of everything, you don't need to do this at all, obviously. But this means the fact that without even really thinking about it, we already had 4x of all 4 of our rares is a great sign for our upcoming gem drafting. I'll do that later, Fiddles. We'll do a quantity check later. I want to get back to this now that that trick is explained. So we should get, we'll get 80 gems right here. And that's great. It's like a near win worth of, match win worth of value in terms of how the prizes slope up. And it looks like we filled up our vault. We got 4 cuts we can make. Okay. And we see about adding black. We've got just the 9 creatures. We did not find a single copy of the weird. We got 4 yesterday and 0 today. Yeah, how are we winning this? Winning with Ugin, getting to frustration quit with Ugin. We could, or just Ashiok. Maybe we need Ashiok because represents a win condition where we're pretty light on that here. So I think I like Ashiok. I don't know if we play Dovin, though. I don't have any plans to, Rob. I don't know. What's the appetite for that? Oh, let me also get into deck building view. If, like, let's say tomorrow I spent the whole day on Magic Online streaming, you know, 3+ hours streaming Modern Horizons, would that be of greater, more or less interest to you? So I'm going to run a poll. So this is a poll, just we'll do a 40-second poll here, and the options are more and less. And I want to know if you're more interested in Horizons draft on Magic Online tomorrow, or less interested, and less as you'd rather just stick with what we're doing today, more as you want to switch to Magic Online. I just want to take the pulse there, see if there's actually that level of interest to do that. Some all caps lesses. Yeah, okay. I thought it was probably going to be less. I didn't realize it was going to be landslide less, but that's what I was afraid of, Rob. Like, I would love to make you happy, but I'm not. If I do it, then it would be something I did after my normal stream. But it becomes hard for me to justify switching to something that lowers my viewer count at this point in my stream growth, you know? Anyway, back to cuts. You're going to come out around there. I think we can cut an Assailant. We got enough 2s, although we don't have a lot of... Maybe we do need the Assailant. And I take it back. We need the Assailant. We're going to try to protect our 3-mana Planeswalkers as indicated. Maybe cut a No Escape. That's all right. This is actually some tough cuts. I guess cut Bond of Passion. A little weak. And are we going to splash Domri or a Cruelty? Splash Aid. Aid might be splashable here because of especially Ugin. Rebuying a win condition. Then it becomes, you know, what's our plan? Our plan is that our planeswalkers get us there, and if they get killed, we get them back. Yeah. Maybe Assailant's not good enough. Kind of like Time Twist as the resetter, though. I don't know. That. Yeah, I don't know about the Black Splash. Actually, I think we're gonna lean on Time Twist as our way to rebuy value from planeswalkers. We definitely want Heartfire. I know it doesn't look amazing, but we do have 2 Honor the God Pharaohs that offer us amass tokens, and often, you know, Saheeli at 1, you let it go, or you can Heartfire when they finally successfully lethally attack your planeswalker. You hurl the planeswalker in response. You know, we could cut Globe. Let's talk about that. It doesn't look like it's. You can think, why play Globe if you're not splashing? But Globe is free with Ugin. It triggers all of our non-creature stuff, of which we have a fair bit. So that's why I have resisted cutting Globe. I think it does, and also we can turn the Globe into something with Saheeli. So even though it's not actually doing its function of splashing, it actually does have a lot of support in terms of what the deck's game plan is. It probably is, like, if we're honest, you know, if we're looking for this final cut, because we're not going to pull a Schneider, we're going to get to 40. And it's probably that. Maybe a No Escape. Maybe even a Mizzium Tank. I've never really actually been too impressed with this. I like a Transmutation. We don't have a lot of great removal, and Red-Blue has a real tough time with Big Beef. So I like to have a Big Beef answer in Transmutation. GRS likes the tank cut. I'm with you. I think it's cute, but it's not actually good. Oh, it's low. We got 8 creatures. So that's one reason I was thinking of keeping the Assailant in, is we're pretty low on creatures. But serviceable would be how I would describe it. Adamant. Like, my preference in best of 3 is to hope to not start these and to bring them in when I know I'm facing gods or green. But given that we're not in a sideboarding situation, I do like to have some resiliency to say that 5/6 or 6/5 troll, you know, hitting the battlefield or whatever. We didn't see any weirds. Yeah. Yeah, we literally never even passed a weird. We just never saw one in our pack. So let's try this. Let's try this. And what are we calling this? Honor the Ineffable. Because we certainly want to honor our way to finding Ugin. So let's see. Anything? Might want to actually swap this. I think we need early red more than we need early blue. Ashiok is only a blue-blue spell, but we don't need to cast Ashiok on 3. So I think this is a clear lean red, not lean blue spot. I'm not impressed with Dovin, and you might be able to talk me into it later, but I'm afraid of playing too many do-nothing Planeswalkers. Yes, he kind of protects himself if they've only got the one threat, but we're so low on creatures that I really don't want to play a bunch of Planeswalkers we can't protect. So that's why I'm going to leave it out for now. But we'll see. I want you to think about what you would cut. Like if you are pro Dovin, I want to know what your cut is. And then when we see that cut, we'll ask ourselves if we wish that were Dovin, and we get that data point at least. All right. Here we go. I have a lunch date with a friend today, so I'm going to be looking to end my stream pretty closely around noon, maybe even a little early if it plays out that way in terms of our event here. Yeah, so like Globe or No Escape. Yeah, maybe No Escape. So let's see if we wish No Escape were Dovin. Looks good. See if this Channeler can stay alive. Dream curve here would be Channeler into Conjurant into Outburst, you know, making Conjurant bigger. Plans rarely survive contact with the enemy, but you gotta have them. Oh, let's get out of this corner. Play over here. Ooh, ouch. What will they take? All right. That's interesting. I'm not too worried about that choice. We're going to start on Channeler. I could have Conjuranted on 2, but I like doing it on 4 and then going to Outburst. Could even go Silverwing and get a little greedier with Conjurant. But I think we're going to want to Outburst soon. I think I'll give him, let him untap and have one turn with this Prowler going, but then we're going to Outburst. So given that I want to Outburst the Prowler soon, let's get the Conjurant on board so that it gets bigger off of the Channeler. In a sense, it's greedy to let Oppo untap with Prowler for a turn. See what they can power out here on 5. Oh, well. Okay, we're probably just going to have to transmute that, even though it makes it like a 3-3. I don't know. Oh, or we can just try to work towards Ugin, and they'll be ultimately pretty sad about that, I think. Death Touch does not kill the Conjurant, correct, but damage does, you know? So, like, it'll still take 4 damage or whatever. Now I like keeping Outburst up for their turn. They didn't find a land, so that's one thing. I could play the Flyer, but I also, if we Outburst, we almost guarantee Effable next turn. And with them short on land, I kind of want to power out Ugin. Well, do we? Why do we need more to protect Ugin? We play Ugin and minus and get rid of the Prowler. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Outburst up. Yeah, so now we're going to outburst the Taskmaster. It's a fine target for outbursting. Wow. They know I have this. I'm going to take Honor. Honor or 2 damage? Yeah, I'll take Honor. That was a weird play from Oppo. Certainly wasn't expecting to get a free 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 off of a known card. And now we just make him scoop, right? Like, how do you not scoop to this?
My presence alone will guide you towards victory. My plans do not include you.
We are going to protect Ugin, though, and keep the Conjurant back, and be ready to defend the Ugin with our Channeler if we have to. If Ugin can just survive the turn, we get quite a turn coming up with these two. And we even get something to pitch, so we'll do that. Let's start with, well, let's see. Do we want to do Ugin first? I'm not sure it matters. But let's do Ugin first. If we had Scry, it might matter to, like, Scry what we wanted to put under the creature, but I don't think that actually mattered there. Yeah, do that. Oh, baby. How about Saheeli into Guild Globe?
Together, we'll create great things, you and I.
And now we get to find out if Oppo knows about Conjurant rules. They do. Let's see, we have more. We do have more Honor the God Pharaoh, so I'm going to leave this island in hand. Oh, we can also... Yeah, there's no reason to minus Saheeli here, though. Okay. Saheeli Flux is kind of broken. Like, we'll transmute... Oh! We'll transmute anything just to get that done. A powerful play from Oppo, but we still have some stuff to do here. Let's start with our... Let's go minus on this artifact. And copy this creature.
Do I have your attention now?
And then we're going to transmute the Prowler. I get that that's why we wanted them GRS. It doesn't mean it was still does not mean it was correct to necessarily do that. They had enough. Ashiok and Ugin were down, but not Saheeli. Good start. Thanks, Marario. You get to work. 7-0 deck. X4 rolling. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But having an Ugin certainly sets the par for me at that 4 to 5 range again. Not just the Ugin. You can't really count on any one bomb showing up enough to get you over the top, but I think cohesively the deck looks pretty good. This is an ugly hand, though. One of the problems of a deck like this is that you can get hands like this, but we have a perfect split of land. We have stuff to do if we get other stuff. Any spells are basically going to be good. But is this too do nothing to keep? It's pretty do nothing. Yeah, I just don't... This just doesn't do anything right now. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright. Keep this, and keep that. That's a way to get back in after a mole. Scare him with Ashiok, and then protect it with Outburst. Ashiok, Outburst, Skulker is a fine curve here. Ugin capping off that curve even finer.
Nightmares themselves fear. I leave you. This has been a nightmare.
I have never mulliganed a 4-land hand, but I have mulliganed to a 4-land hand in one. I did that in Lorwyn Block Limited one time. Alright, we've got Outburst. I'm gonna minus... if we can Outburst now to protect against possible pump spells. One reason not to would be if we thought that they were going to do something like Courage and Crisis on it, which we could do something in response. But I doubt they're going to risk Courage and Crisis when the Trusted Pegasus is ready to knock Ashiok down a significant peg on its own. So I'm going to rouse Outburst and we're going to look for land. We're going to do it now. Yeah, we could even... Time Twist plus Ashiok is super sweet, but let's get to Ugin here. X4 Roland wanted to be greedy and keep the Planeswalker Protector over getting the land. I really also, not only do I want to get to Ugin on 6 if we can get there, I would like to get a certain Skulker on 5. And that's proving valuable here. It's going to be able to block that wolf, unless they do something pretty good. I should be looking at what we're exiling just to get a better idea of what Oppo is up to, but just looks like a straightforward green-white proliferate deck here. Alright, we still got a block, and they still don't have an attack. And now we get to make that wolf moot. We're just going to play Ugin, minus, get rid of the wolf.
Every exploit ripples through time. This I can create or destroy.
My dreams dissipate.
Yeah, free globe. We might even want to wait, though. Casting the globe now doesn't actually do anything. Unless we want to play a land that we draw. I'm going to wait in case we want to pitch the globe to the honor even, but we probably don't. I don't know. I guess the consequence is if they get rid of Ugin, then we don't get the globe for free. I'll play it. I'll play it based on that. Why wait? Because we have things in our deck that love us playing non-creature spells. If this card here were, for example, Flux Channeler, right? We would really want to wait if that were a Flux Channeler. Maybe I could have plussed Ugin and I didn't talk it through enough. I just felt like what I like to do, especially you might have Courage in Crisis or something that turns that wolf into a thing that actually gets through. And I didn't want to see that happen. I felt leaving a green-white deck, which is not going to have a lot of haste, with an 0-3 and our 2 Planeswalkers, we can start ticking up Ugin from here, and he should be great at that role. Yeah, Ugin token can't block the wolf is a great thing to call out as well. I probably could have attacked, though, but again, maybe they could do something. They could Courage in Crisis the Light Shield, and we're playing for the long game here of protecting Ugin. And if we can untap and minus Ashiok... Oh, we don't really have a long game if we get to minus Ashiok again. Yeah. They saw no path. Every time I play on that battlefield, I feel like I'm missing the pod races. J Watt asks if we should have kept Ashiok around given the flux. They were at 11 cards, drawing down to 10. We untap, mill them to 6. They untap and are at like 5 cards in library. I think if you just don't mess around and just Ashiok 5 times, most decks have a hard time beating that, even if it doesn't mill them out immediately. Yeah, there is some repeat, some staticky noise that can go on loop sometimes. I've noticed that too, Chosen. Sure, we can bail and take a quick look at the deck. We are mostly trying to win through Ashiok, Ugin, Inevitability. Because of that, there's been a suggestion to go ahead and splash Aid the Fallen with the Guild Globe in a swamp or something so that we can buy back our win conditions. I have resisted that so far. I think we have the legs to do it without that, but because it's a real cost when you have this in your hand in your opening hand and no globe or swamp in sight, and you basically mulligan for a while. So that's why I'm resistant to that. It just it shores up our late game at the expense of lost win percentage in the early game. So easy game when you just curve Prophet to Ashiok to Honor to Ugin. So let's try that. Try and dodge tolls and whatnot here. Alright. What is going to be paired with the Initiate? That usually suggests black or blue. We'll see if that holds true here. Be curious to see if they send in the Initiate here. That would be a nice bluff. We'd have to think hard about an Initiate attack. Or they make it moot and really put us on the back foot here. Now we're going to have to honor and look for answers if we don't find something else. All right, honor it is, and we will go ahead and pitch. We can almost pitch Ashiok, given how this game is unfolding, but we may stabilize such that Ashiok becomes important. So I'm going to risk, since we have 5 land, we'll go ahead and pitch a land. We can pitch an island here. All right, that's another blocker. Happy to see that. No, I don't really want to throw Globe in the face of 5 lands. We only need 6, so we're likely to just replace the land and get to 6 pretty easily. Hellion aggro causing us problems, so we're gonna have to take another 4, but hopefully if this weird lives, we can stabilize otherwise, and again, get towards this Ugin that should help us with the Hellion. Hey, Timnos, we 5-3'd with the mono red. Pretty fair result for that deck, I think. Hang in there, Weird. We need you, buddy. If you die, we all die. Alright, that ain't good, folks. Gonna have to do some chumping probably next turn, though, but we'll wait till next turn in case they do something to make their army even bigger and make that chump even better. And also, I'd like to wait and chump with the Weird when we can at least get back a spell with it. We might have to play Ashiok as a decoy here, except I don't think they care. And also, Ashiok lovers, note this is the strikeout home run here. Ashiok is effectively a blank in our hand. It's doing nothing to help us stabilize, and we can't deploy Ashiok safely. And so it's been a real liability this game. But I think we play the Globe and then think about Ashioking anyway. But actually probably can't. Probably need to... Probably still need to... chump, and then we're going to have to Ugin next turn. So if we Ugin next turn, how are we winning from there? We need to chump... Oh, this is rough. Might need to Flux Channeler, block... Put everything on one of the 4/4s, trade for one of them, and then Ugin away the other one. I think that's like the only way we win here. Like if they kill anything, we're doomed. So we're all in on trading for one now, and then Ugining away the other one, losing Ugin, but then trying to be stable. Ooh, all right. I think that wrecks us. We're done for. Larynx Punch says, everything on one of the 4/4s loses to a non-creature spell. Like, every one of our lines loses to, like, any spell. You have to come up with something that at least conceptually wins you the game. I'm not sure what line you had that that improves our chances, but I saw that as the only thing we had. And now we get chump and take. None of these have trample. Well, we could chump. If we Ugin plus, is that really, what is that doing for us? Sure was, Fought Fools. But I love it when pandering is true, though, right? That's the best mix. True pandering? Yeah, you get the card under the chump. And then what's that going to be for us, though? Like, the card under the chump, what we need it to be is removal for the 5/5, which is what Ugin is. So I'd rather just use Ugin as removal for the 5/5. We got to go, like, chump. Actually, if I chump here, this gets to be a 2/2 at least. This is a little weird. I think we're just kind of dead, but I'm making a stretch here. So if we plus Ugin, we block everything, and then have a 5 loyalty Ugin, but we have to just literally chump everything. So we just chump, chump, chump. Then we have a, well, I guess this potentially just bounces, but I figure this will chump too if they have anything. And then if we have, like, what is our answer to this? Like, Heartfire plus a block? Totally Lost. Okay, Totally Lost is one of our outs, because we totally lost this token, and that answers that. So I think we actually minus. And get rid of the Hellion.
Be gone, interloper.
And then we're gonna chump, or, you know, chump and hopefully bounce. And then we draw. All right. We at least had a line. I mean, that's the important thing, is to find an out. Come up with your plan. Obviously, my plan was weak to Oppo having anything, but at least I came up with a plan that presented a way to stabilize in this game. So, we tried. We're pretty creature light, and one of our great weaknesses is a deck that gets off on the strong curve out foot like that, and we don't muster defenses in time. Oops. Wishful thinking, Ryan. You gotta take a loss. This is keepable, even though this doesn't have much to go on yet. This will give it fodder, and this is nice defense against early stuff. Thank you for the sub. What would we run over Ashiok? We have, like, we could run a 2-2 for 2. What do we cut at the end? There were some late cuts we would look at. Bringing back. I'd have to look at the card pool to even remember, really. I guess I have a screenshot. I can look. Mizium Tank was a late cut. We have a couple Bond of Passion that we could run, except I really only want Bond of Passion when you're being kind of aggro, and we're not. Might just do the Black Splash in that case, but that's kind of the Black Ashiok is one of the reasons to do the Black Splash, so I guess I don't like that. Oh, there, I took losing my ropes there, my hourglasses with that play. I'm gonna pass with everything and have no escape up. I'll counter just about anything they do here. I want to draw a little bit more to understand what we want to pitch to the honor. Not going to use a Helix on that. But I will go ahead and take this opportunity to see if a Flux Channeler can live against the red-black deck. Hint, the answer is no, but we're going to put out the must-kill, make them kill it. If we had a bunch of, like, awesome synergies all set up for the Flux Channeler, maybe I wouldn't have offered that obvious Lightning Bolt bait. Oh, now we got a nice use of this Pyro Helix, although I wonder, maybe it's time to, well, they can't counter anything. Let's pass, and we can no escape if they happen to do something pre-combat, maybe creature-wise, to try and make that army token bigger, or we can Pyro Helix in response to an attack here. Thanks, Valhalla's Chosen. I appreciate that a lot. I know I don't bring pro level play to the stream. Like, I'm a little worse than that, so I try to make up for that in other ways. Hopefully that's working. All right, well, now we're gonna make a conjurant, see what we can trade with. Thanks, Jerbear. I accept your terms, although it does sure seem like it's +2, +0, and indestructible, huh? I guess we could, like, block the Dreadhorde Arcanist, and then the Conjurant would stay around, but it's not like it's getting extra counters on it, so I think we're just trading for the +2, +0 here, which is unfortunate. But then if we find land, Skulker should be able to do some D, and we can pick off the Shriek Diver eventually. It's pretty clear, actually, because they could haste the Shriek Diver, so it's certainly +2, +0, and indestructible. I guess the question is, given that it's just certainly that, we might as well just do it here. Oh, it's greeting. Interesting. Okay. We weren't going to be able to stop either one of those. And could not find the land we need, so unfortunately we got to go with the honor here and really find that 5th land. Yeah, I could take the hit too, but I just felt like whatever it was, we were going to need to face it eventually. And thinking that it was the +2... made that at least a decent block. So I don't hate the block, given the range of possibilities that Oppo could have there. I wish I had considered the Jaya's Greeting, but it escaped me. So we're going to honor here and figure out what to pitch. Probably to the No Escape. I think to recover here, we're not going to have time to leave No Escape mana up. Oh, and this is one of the cuts we were saying, like, would we want this to be, you know, one of the other cards we were considering. I'm not going to ditch the Heartfire. Hopefully we make plenty of sacrificial tokens coming up here. And we're not going to be able to... And we have one right here even. So I think we gotta keep our removal. We can't ship our removal off. Here we'll go ahead and use the Heartfire. Deny them the draw. And I'm going to take out the Shriek Diver, because we do have a dude coming on the ground that can technically hold this ground. In a lot of ways, that was like a 2-for-1, so I was glad about that. And now we get Skulker, and hope it's enough. Maybe they thought I might chump or something with the 1/1, and they wanted to protect against that. But yeah, there's no way I was going to do that. All right, all right. That was rough. That was an important creature for us. Need some action. All right, interesting. We can go Saheeli, and then God Pharaoh or Time Twist. If we God Pharaoh, we create 2 chumps in the army token and the Saheeli token.
Today I craft my victory.
If we Time Twist, it's only really good if we can get them to turn their attention to Saheeli, but I don't see why they would in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and honor and pitch the island and make a couple of dudes. All right, nice couple of draws there. Very nice. I just need to untap with Saheeli still in play. I never know when to stop spelling banana. Oof, rough, but we're gonna ditch the twist and the transmutation and count on that outburst. Alright, they're going to ignore Saheeli, which is fine, because we have this outburst that's going to make that plan a little suspect. Next turn, we should have enough to block the Arcanist and take out the Reaper. Although, we're not going to get our draw, unfortunately. They're going to get theirs. Because right now, if we outburst the Reaper can self-sacrifice, and they get the card and we don't. Still going to have to do it, probably, and we'll still get a Saheeli token that will create 3 power worth of creatures with which to block this Arcanist. That's a bummer. Well, yeah, we could do it at instant speed. I don't want him to... Yeah, maybe they'll get something else. Thing is, yeah, I guess we do that. That is a bummer. But yeah, maybe they don't know about it, and at least we can... the reason to do it at instant speed, despite the Reaper ability, is that we get to then triple block the Arcanist with them not knowing we can do that. Hey, Blow. Hanging pretty good. Beardstachio wants to do it now. I say we wait so that they don't... So that they attack, hopefully attack in with the Arcanist. And we actually get to take out the Arcanist as well. That would somewhat make up for the fact that we are not going to get our Outburst card. Legal targets to recast from the graveyard. They don't, because they already attacked with it. And that trigger would have happened if they did. What do you mean? When I aim Ral's Outburst at the Spark Reaper, they're going to sack the Reaper in response. Yeah. No matter what, they're gonna sacrifice whatever we target with the Outburst. So they are really questioning, like, what is the... I guess they could be legit afraid of any instant there. Hey, X4, we're I'm not going to get my card now. I was never going to get my card, Beardstachio. They had 3 mana up. They have never had shields down on Spark Reaper since we've had the Outburst. I mean, it's almost like one of our possible bittersweet results is they go ahead and cast one of the black or red 6-drop creatures, which gives us a window to Outburst, but then they have this great creature that they've added to the board, so that's not great for us either. Leaving that Spark Reaper mana up. I mean, they're being very deliberate about that. So they know what we have coming. We've got this Outburst. might be time to force their hand on it. And that Silverwing is a bigger threat than the Arcanist. So yeah, let's take out the Silverwing. Sad outburst. They get the card and we don't, but we got to do it. The floods, the floods. I'm going to throw some full control bluffing here. This is an opponent that's obviously paying attention. You know, they're not attacking in. They might be looking at pauses like this, so I want to make sure that we are pretending that we have something. Keep them nervous. At some point, we actually do need to draw something, though. Well, if they were sniping, they would know this is all a farce and would probably just start attacking. Oh, come on now. Alright, well, we're gonna keep it up. Keep up appearances. I think all their plays so far have been totally reasonable from a good player in terms of not risking attacks into unknown boards. Note that I'm not going into locked full control. I am tapping the control button. So my system here is to tap, click resolve, and then immediately tap control afterwards to get the instance of control back up. But I don't want to go into full control, because that actually... full control is pretty revealing as being, you know... being a bluff. Like, full control stops so much on everything that it actually overdoes it, I think. That's pretty powerful. I think we're Junzo on this one. I'm gonna let that happen. And let's see, we've got to go here or we lose. And not taking anything else. Record is correct. Oh, is it not showing? Sorry, my record was accidentally turned off. I was updating it without showing you. I don't think there are outs in our deck to get us out of this spot, but we'll draw anyway, just in case I'm wrong. Certainly not that, huh? Alright, let's see if the drop into the 2-loss bracket increases our chances enough to rattle off a couple more wins. You know, I see red-black, I get nervous because we have limited creatures, and when you see someone who's likely to have just a grip full of removal, your paltry couple of creatures can be pretty underwhelming. Well, they're having a hard time finding someone for me, which is a little bit weird. 2/2 seems like it'd be pretty easy to find a pair. Two-lander. We can keep it. We had a mono removal deck last week that just was so-so. I even called it out. We had lots of removal but no card draw. So the trouble with tons of removal, no card draw is you can end up, as we did, killing a lot of stuff but not being able to kill everything and then just dying to the everything, to the remainder. I wanted to save this globe to be able to trigger the Flux Channeler with Saheeli and do all sorts of nonsense like that, but when you don't find your third land, you do what you gotta, and we drop the globe here. Alright, good. We got our third land set. We can decide what to do with it. Interesting hand here in terms of spark double and what we want to double up on. I think we're gonna have to actually just transmute the weird, though, here. I said this is for big green stuff. You know what? Spellgorger Weird is big green stuff, effectively. I felt like I just could not even let that Spellgorger get started. That was my thought there. You know, we're against a color that can return the weird to its hand with blue. This is why Transmutation is not a great card. There's lots of ways Oppo can still solve this, or still at least make use out of a 1/1 that we've left them with. Well, we found our third land, but not our fourth. We could leave up No Escape, since we're not under a ton of pressure here. Or we could play play Flux Channeler. I think we want to leave No Escape here. It's not great. If they don't do anything and we pass having not cast our No Escape, or if they don't do anything that we can No Escape, that makes me super sad. And they're blue-red, so they could easily do a non-creature, non-planeswalker turn. But at least they didn't do anything on 4. Alright, well. I'm willing to throw a Silverwing out now. That seems fine. Let's see if they want to do anything about this. No response at all. And they're drawing a mountain. Okay. Huh. That's where I would have returned the weird if I were Oppo, but we'll take that. Is this real? Is this really happening to us? Am I sleeping? What's going on? Back-to-back Dreadhorde Arcanist nonsense decks that are actually working. Big, salty F you to that. So I guess we replay the Silverwing here and try to have game against the 2/2. And then try to find our way to Uginin away the Arcanist. But this is real bad. Arcanist is just going to cast this. And it's going to become a 5/7. So we're going to take 5 effectively. Unless they want to throw it on here. They might just throw it on the zombie army. But I think we have no real choice here but to replay the wing. Yeah, I don't see how we win this one from here, given all of the tools that Oppo has available. I think we're done early on this one, folks. Can't say I didn't draw my Ugins either. Well, what a bummer. I mean, there's some draft picks people disagreed with, and we had some finicky little choices at the end on what to include, but some days it doesn't matter. Just making sure there's nothing we have to get us out. No, there's not. We're just completely done for. Yeah, Oppo's... Our 3 losses all felt pretty crappy in terms of just like, yeah, I guess we got snowballed by some corner case strategies that worked, but like back-to-back Dreadhorde Arcanist shenanigans working against you is a pretty deflating way to run yourself out of a tournament. However, I didn't see anybody use the punt emote. Dionysus isn't here demanding that you all punish me for my failures, so that's how I have to focus. As a nuts and bolts spike, we need to focus on our play. I really liked that there were a couple spots in that event where I didn't know how we could even possibly win, and we found a line. You know, we found lines. It's like, okay, well, here's a way we could win, you know? And so those muscles were flexed successfully today, even if the results don't show it. So, yeah, we missed land drops. Magic was magic for us today, and again, I need to hold back the salt by remembering what I need to, as a nuts and bolts spike, measure myself upon, which is how well I'm playing. And so I hate this win-loss record. We had freaking Ugin. It was a very good deck. Had some weaknesses. I'm not going to call it a great deck, but it was a very good deck that didn't get there. But we got there with no punts, so that's a big victory for me. You're a very forgiving group? Well, only when Dionysus and Vaporkin aren't here. But I appreciate my harsh mentors as much as the kind ones. Well, Ugin is ineffable, but we got effed pretty good. Go open the packs, though.
I went through hell to lose to you.
Oh yeah, we did get an extra pack. How lucky. Single combat. We'll crack the vault. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to our YouTube friends on that one. See you, YouTube friends. Catch the next draft.